Hello everybody and welcome back to my studio. Today I'm taking on a request from a viewer that I had quite a while ago. They asked for a sailboat on a calm ocean. I did try this in ink and watercolor the other day on some watercolor paper, and the drawing went not too bad, but the painting I totally messed up. So I left it for a day, and then I think I was in the mood for an ink drawing, and just picked up some of the multimedia smooth paper and drew it in ink only. And I really liked how this one came out a lot better than the watercolor that I messed up. So it goes to show that sometimes things don't go the way you plan, but if you persist and try again. And this is a fairly simple subject, really, considering all the details you could put into a drawing. This a lot of this is in silhouette, the photograph, so it eliminates a lot of the little details that you might get caught up in. And I started this drawing with the shape of the boat, the hull. Because honestly, if you don't get the shape of the boat, which is the main subject, if you don't get that quite right or to your liking, then it's not much use doing anything else. So if you start with that and get that good, then that's a good omen, and it's a good encouragement to keep going. I do draw from the photograph on my iPad in front of me directly with ink onto the drawing surface. And in a case like this, in a subject like this that you're not quite used to drawing freehand, a ruler and perhaps a pencil, or just the ruler with the pen might be helpful to avoid discouragement. But even my lines aren't perfectly straight. But if they're close to it, it gives the illusion of a straight line. And you notice I do take my time and make a few lines and dashes and dots. That way, if instead of making one solid line, if you make little dots and dashes, you can correct if you feel yourself going off the straightness. You can correct that easily as you go along. I'm keeping my the bulk of my hand on the surface, the drawing surface, or the surface of the desk, so that it makes my hand a little steadier. And instead of moving just the pen to make the straight line, you're moving your whole hand and the pen as one unit, which does help in making a straight line. And you notice there in my first line for the horizon was off, so I just did another one. And it's fine in this case because it just looks like another line in the ocean. another wave. I simplified the land, taking out the hill in the far right. One thing about sketching is if you simplify things, break down things into shapes, it works a lot better than trying to worry about all the details. And the whole idea is to give the impression or the illusion of what you're trying to draw. So if people look at this area and say, "Oh yeah, that's water, that's the ocean," then you've succeeded. I'm making the lines in the water horizontal, going with the surface of the water. And because it is a calm day on the ocean, making straight lines is just what you need. I tried the first attempt at this subject with watercolor because I thought, well, how do you portray a sunset or a sunrise with no color? But there again, I think just the viewer's mind does add a lot of things, a lot of detail, and hopefully in their mind it will be sunrise or a sunset. And that bright line from the sun in the water really helps as far as that goes, as far as the illusion of the sunset goes. I turn the paper on its side to make it easier to draw the lines horizontally on the surface of the water. It's always good to turn the paper whichever way you want, which is one good reason for having the paper free rather than taped down to the work surface. Whatever is more comfortable, whatever you feel is the comfortable position for your hand, making the lines that you want to make. Again, I didn't worry about making straight lines right across. I just made small sections of lines and kind of twisting and turning them just to give life to the water, to the shading underneath the boat. In the photograph, there isn't too much reflection of the land mass on the right side, but I did put some in. And as in all drawings, you can add or take away things as you wish. In my mind, it just needed a little bit more reflection in the water underneath the land. Now, of course, the outlines of all the bits or the objects is very important, but the shading is when it starts to come to life and gives it shape. I'm doing this drawing very slowly. In fact, I sped the video up to 125% of the original speed. As I go along, I'm stopping quite often, and I stopped for quite a bit between the water and the clouds, just trying to imagine in my mind what the best way to handle that would be. I decided on horizontal lines again because the clouds are quite still and dark, but not. I didn't want to make them solid. I wanted to make them into the background because they are in the distance. I didn't want to make them compete too much with the foreground subject, the main subject. Kind of starting at the bottom and fading off into the tops of the clouds to give them some kind of a shape. after doing all the initial hatching of the different areas, then I can come back in and work on the darkest areas, places that I want to stand out a little bit more. The hull of the boat is very important to this picture, so I thought I'd make a little bit darker in there, but being very careful not to make it too dark. One thing with pen and ink, you can make things darker with more lines, but you can't really take them away after to lighten something up. So this is a very slow, relaxed method of drawing. A very thoughtful way of drawing too. You have to stop and think and take your time. Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it does, and then there's that satisfaction you get from doing a relaxed, comfortable drawing and seeing a nice result. Just dark up some of the lines, some of the main lines, especially on the opposite side to where the light's coming from. And still not doing solid lines all the way down. Just doing little dots and dashes once in a while. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me again today, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you give it a try. If you have any questions or comments or anything, please send a comment. I love to hear from you. This is the photograph, and that's the drawing I came up with. Thank you for joining me, and take care, and I'll see you next time.